good. We've met loads of people all around the country who watch Hochanda and find it really inspiring. Don't forget to join me on my rondine shows on Hochanda.
Oh, you're watching on such a good day. This is a perfect time to tune in. Are you looking for a brand new launch of some wonderful groovy plates, which makes the parchment craft easy, accessible, not to mention possible for ultimate beginners? So you can grab a starter kit and start parchment crafting on tonight's show. Not knowing what parchment crafting is quite yet? Well, you will by the end of this hour, and my goodness, are you in for an absolute treat. Half the stock has already gone in our launch first hour of the one-day special. Let's see what you potentially could be making with this wonderful set. And we got a little taster there from the finished sample video from the design team of why this is already such a busy set, because of that whole potential that it holds, isn't that true?
That's right. I mean, for people tuning in for America, parchment craft, groovy. Parchment craft is a very traditional craft where you would have to take a printed image, parchment over the top, trace it out with a pen, and then you get an embossing tool to get a raised line art. And it's a skill that people have been doing for hundreds of years. But people can struggle with dexterity problems and bits and pieces like that. So the groovy system we launched just over 3 years ago. And basically what it is, they're laser etched acrylic plates that have a groove in them, hence them being called a groovy system. And it just allows you to create that line art very easily and very simply.
And if you are an absolute beginner, pick up the starter kit tonight once we've seen some of your demonstrations, Paul. But anybody can do it, is that not?
If you can hold a pen, you can use the groovy system.
Okay, yeah, well said, actually. And this is coming with that wonderful natural tone of parchment paper as well. So not only are you getting the new arrival plates, these are from Linda as well. And tell us about Linda, Paul, because Linda's a wonderful designer.
Some viewers in the US may be familiar with pergamano, which was the traditional style of parching. And Linda Williams, they had a tutor system, and Linda Williams and one other person was a master tutor in the whole world. And Linda's on our design team, and these designs were in traditional form, so they were printed. And Linda said, why don't we turn them into groovy, because so many other people can then enjoy them. And that's what we've done.
Yes, they look absolutely stunning. And of course that make to sell, make to give, make to give and then ultimately keep.
That's right. I mean, we were talking a moment ago, weren't we, Matt? And we were saying one of the times when you make cards and stuff like that.
Yeah. Should we show just one very quickly here, just to show you what you can do? These are the sorts of techniques that you use. We will go in more detail on this card in just a second, but just to show the boards first. And then...
So if you was to trace out the groovy plate, exactly how it comes, that's what you get. So there's so many different elements on it, and what you do is you extract just one part of that or several parts of it to create your design. So we've got this one here, which has got the sort of the pram, and then it's got a twin pram.
And then
and it's got all the different elements. Welcome, baby, congratulations, baby, twins. Then we've got the next design here, which is more for christenings, baptisms, but that beautiful flourish frame around the outside. I mean,
I cannot believe this.
These samples here have all been done by Linda, who actually designed the actual.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Isn't that stunning?
We call that white work, don't we, Paul?
Yeah,
and
but
the white
for me,
work
the camera really picks it up really well because it looks like porcelain. In real life, it looks like porcelain.
Yeah, silky porcelain. Isn't that phenomenal, that result that you can get from it? Absolutely magical. Marvellous.
And as we said earlier, Matt, sort of like, people send cards and some people keep special cards and bits and pieces, but it's times like a new birth where they do become like keepsakes in memory boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this is a beautiful one. So you've got sort of like the baby in the moon. This, I struggle to work out which one's my favourite, but I love this one.
Yes, it's a beautiful example of what we call the picot cutting around the edge to show the stars hanging down from the wonderful moon, and the detail on that is, again, and then you can see that's been personalised for Ella in the star.
And
so
you've got the little tag
the
there.
tag as well. Oh, this is just such a delightful set. This really is. And our next groovy plate that you wanted to show us here, Paul, that you're getting in your one-day special.
Cot. So again, when you look, you've got that lovely floral frame, you've got the roses, so again, it could be used for all different types of occasions, not just for the birth of a new baby.
Yeah, there is nothing stopping those frames being used.
And then we've got this finished sample here.
Oh, in the pink, and don't forget, if you want to jump ahead of us, you can have a little look for the baby pink and the baby blue parchment paper, already on the show as well, very popular. But you get the natural colours in this set with the one.
Yeah, so you get a light ivory and a light rose. We thought we'd keep it sort of like a neutral colour tones. And then we've got this one here. So again, you've got the lovely rocking horse with like a pillow type of effect. So you could take any of those other images and put them on that pillow.
Yeah, that frame could be used. This is the whole point. If you're watching for the first time on Groovy in the States today, it's a modular system. You can use this bit from this plate and that bit from that one, overlay them and just build your own images.
Yeah, it's very different to sort of stamping, because if these were stamp designs, you would be restricted then on what you could do with them. But with the Groovy system, you can take elements, and that's what I'm going to show you when we come to the demonstration.
Yeah, we can see that wonderful horse there. That looks beautiful in the white, cut around the edge to just get that lovely trim. You are getting so much.
Yeah,
I feel like you've been
plates.
Yeah, there's
and the
so much artwork in each one. Oh yeah,
absolutely.
It's $26 off today when you order on the one-day special while stocks last. And then you've got your lovely rattles, the pacifier, the bottles, as well as that corner detail, and then this trim down here. And these borders, of course, use them any time for anything.
Exactly, absolutely.
This is a great set, and you can also split it into flexi-buy, split it in half if you wish, so $69.99 plus $8.95 shipping and handling, or if you join Freedom, you can pay your shipping charge in your Freedom membership, and it would just cover you. The parchment alone in the bundle here is $27.99, but you're saving $26, so you're nearly getting that parchment without necessarily paying for it, thanks to that saving. So $69.99, or spread the cost over 2 months if you wish. It's $35 now, $35 next month. Factor in your delivery or join Freedom. 363-354. If you have never parchment crafted and used Groovy before, we wouldn't blame you, because it's only launched 3.5 years ago or so. So, you know, this is a perfect new craft for you. This is exactly everything that you're getting in the one-day special today, and it's 363-354 to order right now. On FlexiBuy, it's just $35 on your first payment of 2. However, half the stock is already gone, so do order as early as you can. I love the way this show has been put together, Paul, because everything we're about to see just melts in and just works.
It does, and that's what we do. When we put a show together, we don't put products on because we've got a surplus of this or a surplus of that. We always put a theme to it, and we know that it's all going to work together.
Yeah, and what is true here is that you've got the scalloped edges on the nested scallops, but you've also got this massively useful alphabet and numbers and letters.
That's right, and the font that's been used in this alphabet, you've got the uppercase and you've got the lowercase and you've got the numbers. is the same font that's used on the individual plates in the one-day special as well.
Yeah, so everything matches so beautifully for that.
So personalisation is great.
Yeah, so we can see, you know, babies' names, as we saw Ella's name.
Date of
on
birth.
That last card, yeah.
Date of the christening.
Birth weight as well.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
So around the edge you've got Let's Celebrate. This is a good plate for any occasion, but particularly that font matching with your new arrival sets of plates. It's $20.99 plus the $8.95 shipping and handling. Approaching, this is saying a lot, approaching half the stock. The edge on this looks lovely, actually, using those
It's all about the finishing touches as well. Yeah. And I've only been doing parchment craft since the Groovy system launched, which is just over 3 years ago. And for me, a frame is key to your work. But one, it can help contain what you're working on, but two, it's that finishing touch, and with this scalloped edge, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it does. It finishes it so well. And then looking at the picot cutting, you'll learn more about the picot cutting as we go. But here we see the pram and the frame from the new arrival set. But there, look, I mean, the personalisation of Amy Grace, and then around the edge for the frame here. It's just lovely.
Stunning.
Yeah, so beautiful. Add this onto your flexi order today for $10.50, 003165 to add on to your flexi buy basket, onto your flexi order. Go for it, and everything else coordinates also. And what would a new arrivals show be without this wonderful baby blue and the baby pink and those softer tones?
And we've got this actually on special offer as well. We could have put this in with the one-day special, but we thought we'd keep it sort of like neutral colour tones, because sometimes you don't know whether it's going to be a boy or a girl. But what we found from the earlier show is that a lot of people are adding this into their basket at the same time. Beautiful colours.
Yeah, with the wonderful scallop frames that we've just seen, half the stock nearly has gone on those.
Wow.
Half the stock's gone on the one-day special, so it shows that people are ordering each. However, 70% of the stock has gone on your baby pink and powder blue parchment papers. And those are, of course, 20 sheets in total, 10 of each, a $7 saving, making them just $20.99 today. If you're flexi ordering with these, they'll be $10.50 to order now. 066-279 to order on your parchment papers. There are more to show you, and there are more that will work with your one-day special with Paul. But have you heard about Craft Along yet? If not, have a look at this.
Would you like to improve your crafting techniques by watching and crafting along with your favourite Hochanda guest demonstrators, all from the comfort of your own home? If the answer is yes, then we are very excited to invite you to Craft Along, where you, our presenters and guests, will create an amazing array of projects throughout the year. So tune in, be inspired and create with Craft Along, your monthly crafting workshop.
I love the idea of Craft Along. Yeah, 17th of February, 2 p.m.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Basically, what you've got the opportunity here is to buy this complete kit now, and then on the 17th of February, you can tune in. You'll have this at home with you, and it's 2 hours of uninterrupted crafting.
Yeah.
And Barbara she'll be going along at the pace in which you are at home.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful? Of course, Barbara, who you would have seen as a regular viewer, but if you're watching for the first time in the States, of course, Barbara
is Clarity Stamp.
Exactly, the creation and the brains behind Clarity Stamp and Groovy, and of course, she's going to be with you on that Craft Along. Grab this kit today, and you'll have what's being used. The 2 p.m, by the way, is UK time. That should work out at 9 a.m. Eastern time on the East Coast and for the Eastern States, 6 a.m. on Pacific time. So you've got a Pacific Central, a Pacific Mountain Central and Eastern, so you've got the 4 different time zones. Wherever you are in the States, of course, work it out from 2 p.m. being UK time, work it backwards, GMT. What do we get in the kit then?
Okay, so we'll start off with the stamps. Now, this is a technique that Barbara came up with. They're called freeway overlay stamps. And although the design's all the same and you think, oh, I'm going to get 3 of the same stamp, they all work independently but together. When we watched that little VT before, the lovely Dee was showing how they worked. So you've got the beautiful stamps there. Then in addition to that, we've got the groovy plate up the top, which is this plate here. So you'll notice that they're all the same design. Yeah. Then in front of that, we've got our more recent addition to the Clarity family, which is our fresh cut dies.
Yeah, I'll just spin that around.
So this is a 4x4 inch aperture die.
Yep.
And then finally, we've got the lovely 7x7 stencil. During those 2 hours, Barbara's going to be using all of these products into 4 different workshops, really. But there'll be a crossover of different products. So Barbara will use ink pads with the stamps, she'll use it with the stencils, and also with the groovy.
Yeah, okay, so it's a really good introduction to all those different areas of craft there. Brilliant idea, brilliant chance to get you involved. However, to get this in time, to get it in the US, you'll need to order it before the 1st of February. So if you're seeing it now and you're tempted now and you're thinking, yeah, do you know what, I'd like to do that, then do go for it. Order it at least by the 1st of Feb, if not right now. So for that 2-hour dedicated show, you can order it over the phone, normal number, or do it on the web. But on the phone when you order or email, you'll get a $5 voucher code as well, that you could then use that off a $20 spend. So spending $20, get your $5 voucher code in the Craft Along shop. So do bear in mind everything there, but mainly get the kit before the Craft Along, and in time to get it, at least order it before the 1st of Feb. Now, to go with your one-day special, which Paul is going to be demonstrating with now, you've got your nested scalloped plates here. These are your scalloped circles and scalloped squares. These are groovy plates now, so they're etched, laser etched, with the groove for your groovy parchment craft. They're $22.99 with an $8.95 shipping and handling. We've also got the rectangle and oval in the nested frames, and both of these are available for $30.99, and your item number there is 651419. Grab them. And then the border plates, yes, they'll go really nicely with our one-day special. Your border plates, we've got these out to show you, but here's a quick pick. Border plates 1 and 2, it's $22.99, 913336. Now, are you new to groovy parchment craft? If so, this is where it starts for every groovy parchment craft.
Definitely. So what we did when we first launched the Groovy system, we put a starter kit together. And what that means is that when the customer buys this and they get it home, they can get Groovy straight away. So included in the starter kit, we've got this plate mate, and the plate mate is a piece of A4 acrylic that has a hole in the middle. And what you'll find, the plates from the one-day special fit perfectly inside, so it gives you a larger workspace. You also get a black mat, which is hard on one side for when you're working and colouring, and then soft on the other side for what's called white work.
Okay.
In addition to that, down towards the bottom, we've got 3 different design plates. So we've got the lovely trees, the hills and the mountains, and then we've got the nested squares. On top of that, obviously you need some tools to do the tracing out. So you get the 2 wooden tools, and they have 4 different size ends to them. So we call them a number 1, a number 2, a number 3, and a number 4. And then we've got what we call a tumble dry sheet. So it's like a laundry type sheet that stops things going static. And I'll explain why we need one of those. You also get 20 sheets of A5 parchment.
Yep, that's it.
And a beautiful project, a double-sided concertina pamphlet that gives you step-by-step 2 different projects that you can create from this kit when you get it home. Yeah,
it's a wonderful, I mean, that's not just an instruction booklet, that's a proper project booklet as well. So written with projects by a lovely lady called Tina. It's 587104, and you can order now 2 payments of $31.50, including your shipping and handling when you're ordering with Freedom membership today. If you're not a Freedom member, fair enough, it's just 2 payments of $35 will net you the starter kit. Everything you need to get started with your groovy parchment craft, and you'll never look back, honestly. On the website, you'll see everything else also. You'll see everything we've already been through. You've got the light ivory and light rose parchment papers. Those are included in your one-day special already, but if you want to get extra, then the nested circles, the scallops ovals, the scallop rectangles, those are also there that we just looked at. And then you've got your light panel set, and then you've got your groovy accessories set. Grab those, but we'll tell you why and what you need as we go through the show. And don't forget, you can watch us online on Hochanda.com. You can interact with the show as well. So you can find us, it's Crafting with Hochanda USA. Find us on there, drop us a message, or you can email us, studio@hochanda.com. So, Paul, where would you like to start?
Right,
today?
I thought we're going to just, when we look at this, you'll see that I've just taken elements from the actual design plate. So this is the one from the baby on the moon.
Yes.
And I've just taken elements from that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to guide you through this. Okay. But what I wanted to do is I've cut these panels out, and if I put a piece of black card behind, I'm going to get that behind there at the top. There we go.
Yeah,
I don't know if we can come in really close, and you can see that beautiful sort of serrated edge. Yeah. That's called picot cutting.
Okay.
And basically, it's a skill that you pick up over a period of time.
Okay. So it's
just that lovely little edge down there. Yeah. But last year we brought out some dies that does that for you. Okay. So that's where we're going to start off with.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, the Pico dies are available.
The Pico dies, yeah. So I've taken a piece of white card and I've taken a piece of the parchment that comes in the one-day special. Now, with our coloured parchment, it looks the same on both sides, but it does actually have a difference. If I want the crisp white line art, I need to make sure I'm working on the right side of the parchment. So what I do is I bring one of our plates into play, and I'll take the tool that seems to, here it is, it's walked off. We always lose things when we're crafting. And what I do, I'm just going to go along the edge of the parchment so I can see whether I'm on the right side. So here, I've got the crisp white line, but if I fold that over, it's more of this soft ivory colour. Yeah. So I need to have the white side facing up to me. Okay? So I'm going to pop that on there, and I'm going to take my picot die so I can cut out my first square, which is going to be the basis to work on. So I'm using a Gemini die cutting machine. The dies will work in all leading die cutting machines. It will just be like what I call a sandwich of the different bits of bread. So we're going to pop that through the machine now, and we'll just cut that out.
Yeah, the Pico dies, the Pico squares and the Pico circles are available.
Yeah, we've got squares, circles, ovals and rectangles.
Ovals and rectangles as well, isn't it? So you can find those on the website. Oh, they're on the show as well, so Hochanda.com. Load up the website, you'll see them on there, easy. In fact, have a look. Yeah, you have a look now, just while we're cutting. It's only going to take a second. They're $48.99 in dollars. You get the...
you get the groovy plate.
Of course, you get the groovy plate as well, don't you? Yeah, yeah. Of course, groovy plates on the right-hand side of each photo.
Right, okay, so I've run that through the machine. So now when I lift this off, I've got my piece of card that's been die cut and also my piece of parchment. Yeah. Okay, so we'll pop that to one side. Nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in the lovely scallop square extensions, and I'm going to turn my parchment over, because when you're working with parchment, you're always working on the reverse. Okay, because the grooves are indented within the plates, I'm pushing into those grooves to stretch the parchment. So the tumble dry sheet that comes in the starter kit, all I'm going to do is wipe over the parchment, and what it does, it allows the tool to glide more easily. Okay, so I'm going to line that up into the position I want it, which is just about, oops, I'm going to go for about there.
Got your groovy tabs at the ready as well.
I've got my groovy tabs ready to hold it in place.
Multi-use stickers. You use those for potentially months on end.
Yep. They come in the accessory kits, and you also get a groovy guard. And the groovy guard allows you to work on your parchment without damaging it.
Yeah, $16.99 for your accessories kit. You'll get your 20 sheets of A4 parchment, A5 parchment paper as well. Is that right? Yeah, A5. Yeah. 211682.
So all I'm doing is I'm pressing into those grooves, and what that's doing is stretching the parchment and pushing it through. Okay, So I'm going to do the other side, and we're just going to go through and do the outer frame and then the inner frame. And if I turn that round, so I now remove those tabs so I can hold that in place up there. And we'll do the same on the bottom to stop it moving around. Because what you don't want to do is to start moving it and then you won't get your lines lined back up again. Okay, so we'll do that bit here. But you can see, Matt, how quick and easy it is.
Yeah, and no potential for mistake.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
the grooves have been etched to a specific depth. So as long as you've got the right tools, it's unlikely that you'll go through the parchment. I think in America, sort of a lot of people think parchment it's like a heavy-duty vellum.
Yeah.
I think vellum's normally about 90 GSM, and the parchment's 140, 150.
Yeah.
So it's different to that.
And remember the strength of it as well, the tensile strength of it versus paper or card.
So when we turn that over, we've now got our frame in place. So this is going to be the basis of my card. Okay. So now I'm going to bring in the design plate. Now, if I bring in the one with the lovely, I want this flourish round here. Now, if I try and work on here, I'm going to go over the edge and then I've got nowhere to stick it to. So this is where the plate mate comes into play from the starter kit.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got this plate mate there, and then the plate fits inside. So what that means now is I can position my design in the frame, and then I can use my groovy tabs to hold it in place whilst I work. Okay. So I'm going to bring my groovy guard in. I'm going to go this way. And then all I'm going to do, I don't have to do all of it, I can just choose elements of it. Again, as I was saying, if this was a stamp, you'd have to stamp all of it out. I mean, you could mask off areas, but it would be quite tricky.
Or ink it and then baby wipe some of the ink away. There are techniques and tips that you and I both have learned and employed over the years, but yeah, it's so easy just to borrow elements from a groovy plate and move on.
That's right. And again, you can choose, you can see how all of this just goes very, very easily onto the plate. So what I'll do, I'm not going to do all of it because it can take a little bit of time, but it's very relaxing to do. It's very enjoyable.
And I said earlier, very, very little, almost impossible scope for mistake as well. Like you just literally sit down.
So if I jump out of that groove, nothing's going to happen because there's nowhere for the tool to push into. Then what that means is that it's not going to stretch the parchment. Now, if I was doing this traditionally, I'd have to go a lot more slowly, a lot more care, and what I'm trying to do a straight line, I wouldn't try.
No.
So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this one side here, so I can move my tab out of the play, right there. But I don't want to go all the way up to that corner, so I'm going to stop there. So when I now turn this over, I've now got...
Look at that. There's
beautiful.
Always such pleasure, satisfaction.
It's the elegance of it. Yeah, it really, really is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring one in that I've already traced all the way around the outside, just so we can see what that looks like. So here we go. So what I've done, but you can see we've still got a bit of a gap in each of those corners.
Yeah.
So all I did was I traced it out, turned it round, and then did the opposite corner.
Know when to stop each time. Easy, yeah.
And then up here, there's a little bit of a heart, if you look at that. You see? So all I'm going to do is position my parchment in place and see if I can put that in there.
Yeah, you've got the semi-translucency to the parchment area. You can see through it, you can line it up yourself.
So it just makes it easier then, if you've got sort of areas where it doesn't complete, that you can just go in and fill in. And you can put that in at whatever angle you want to. But it's just, I love it because it's so elegant. And the collection in the one-day special is just great for all different things. So there we go. So that's our frame. So that's going to be the basis. So if I get ready for the next bit, did you want to have a look at some more of the samples, Matt?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
I'd love it. Absolutely love the opportunity to do that. You know me.
For me, the samples is what sells the product. It really is.
For me, that's where the heart is, the potential, the heart and soul. I love it.
Definitely.
But we still need the know-how. So
Yes,
for that,
definitely.
don't underestimate.
I'm not going anywhere.
No, don't fall. We've got a video here that we've made with what the design team have done so far. Enjoy. It's of course just the start of the journey, that is, when you see the designer, Linda Williams, giving us these beautiful plates, these parchment plates. With over half the stock gone after just an hour and a half, it's easy to see that you've fallen in love with them just as much as we have too. And all of those triggers in our head where we're thinking, well, what are you thinking when you're looking at the plates, actually? Are you thinking the same as me, thinking there's always somebody in the family or the network of friends that's expecting, there's always a little new arrival on the way, and even once they've been welcomed to the world with that first initial arrival, they've then got their christening or baptism or first birthday or second birthday or third and fourth birthdays. So this is imagery that's still usable for years after that little one's then arrived in this wonderful world of ours. But then that's not even to consider making to sell and that potential to be able to make something wonderful that somebody is literally going to treasure. And whether that's a card or a piece of home decor, or maybe a monogram or something. But look at this. I mean, to see the man in the moon there with the stars hanging down, the magic, the fairy tale magic in that card, with one of the papers as well brought to us by Clarity and Groovy. You've got those lovely colours there created by hand, literally by Barbara. And you've got here, I love this. I've been, what time is it? Yeah, I've taken half an hour to show you this. I've wanted to show you this since the beginning of the show. How magical is this little rocking horse, made by hand? I'm being so careful in holding it. Made by hand, and it's three-dimensional. It does actually rock as well, but that is a make to keep, make to treasure forever. Finish off with the Perga glitters as well. So imagine being able to make those, and imagine how much you can potentially charge for them. And I paused a bit there because I felt a bit uncomfortable thinking, talking about money and things, about making to sell when something's so beautiful. But yeah, you know what? If somebody's going to buy something wonderful from you that you've spent time and energy making, they will keep it forever. And you've got this whole collection available to you for new arrivals in the family and friends, and also for make to sells, maybe with a free angel policy on it. And you're getting all of these natural tones in your parchment paper, your A4 parchment paper. You are getting all 6 of these groovy plates in this for $35 today. $35 next month, thanks to a $26 saving, which is practically the value of your parchment paper that you're looking at here. That's $27.99 normally, but today with $26 off, practically covering that cost. So your one-day special is available now. Over half the stock's gone, however, since it first launched, literally only a couple of hours ago. Your item number to order is 363354. Perfect colours of parchment to go with your one-day special would be the powder blue and baby pink. I would not be surprised on the overnight repeat shows while we're all safely tucked up in bed here in the UK. We're approaching 80% whether this will sell out. while we're asleep. It might not be there in the morning, seriously. 066279. And then the alphabet, because this matches exactly the font. It doesn't just look like it, it matches it exactly. The font in your one day special. Your alphabet that you're getting in your nested scallop squares, go for that as well. It's $20.99, 003165. So Paul, are you ready then for the next stage?
Yes,
Good.
right.
Okay.
So if we just sort of have a recap on the overhead.
Yeah.
So this is where we're aiming for. Okay, so we've got the lovely frame on the outside, and then we've got the lovely little topper just on the inside. So far we've created the beautiful frame, okay, and now we're going to create the centerpiece. Now I could create this directly onto the parchment in the middle, but I wanted to sort of add some dimension to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do it on a separate piece.
Kind of by overlaying the same colour as well, it changes the colour.
It does,
as well,
it
to make
intensifies the
deeper.
colour, definitely.
Yeah, like when you get 2 layers of organza or something.
So what I've done is I've already cut out my Pico square, because in the Pico squares you get 11 different sizes, okay, and I've put some double lines on the inside. I've now gone over to the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star plate, and because I can see through the parchment, I can position this exactly where I want it to be. So I reckon I'm going to put this lovely little bows and ribbons with the stars just there. Okay, so I'm going to position that down with the groovy tabs. I'm just going to give it a wipe, because I can't remember whether I wiped it or not.
Just in case you might have done.
And then I'm going to use my groovy guard just to concentrate on that area. I was just thinking of another occasion, Matt, as you picked up that lovely little rocking horse.
Yes.
Baby's first Christmas.
Oh, my word, yes.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Yeah.
It'd be so elegant if you could make something like that. Or even the card on its own.
Yeah.
But I thought that was another great occasion when these plates would come into play.
I mean, nothing stopped that rocking horse being a hanging decoration on the tree.
That's exactly what I thought when you was holding it in your hand.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
lovely idea.
all I'm going to do is trace out, but you can see how easy it is to do. And I'm just taking all the elements that I want to, and if I go too fast and I jump out the groove, nothing goes wrong. It's a bit like fail-safe crafting, really, isn't it?
It is. And I know a lot of folk would say, oh, don't speak too soon, but it really is. It's got... The only room for error is when you only want a little bit of something, and it's so mindful that it can sort of take you off, and you think
you get carried away.
Yeah. Oh, hang on, I didn't mean to do that bit. So in a way, you do need to stay in the room.
That's why the groovy guard's great, because
clever.
you can focus on the area and try and sort of stop yourself getting carried away.
That's a clever point.
So all we're going to do is just trace out. Look, see these little stars. Here, these are great for different cards. There is a finished sample.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's traced out a star itself, and then it has, I think it's sort of like a blue colourway card. So it's the shape of a star, and it's got the little stars hanging from it.
Okay.
Okay, so I've done that little piece there, and now I'm going to look at the plate and see what else I want to choose. And I think I like this little one just here. So what I'm going to do is pop that onto that bit there, so I can then create some design on the opposite corner. Did you find that one, Matt?
I'm looking now and I can't find it. It's in a blue, is it?
It's a blue type card.
Did Janice have it earlier? Did she find it?
I wonder whether Janice borrowed it.
Yeah, she's probably driven home with it. I don't know what she wants it for. I hope she brings it back. It's amazing.
It's going to be the last one you pick up, isn't it? It's always the way.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I've got a couple of blue cards, but to be honestly, I haven't found it.
It's the actual main focal point is the star.
Yeah. The big star.
No, it's a big star. One of our other designs. It's a big 5-pointed star. I wonder whether it's onto that little box right at the end.
I wonder
whether Janice got carried away.
I wonder if she took it all the way down here, do you think?
So all we're going to do is just carry on tracing this out.
Yeah, keep going.
What, Matt, do you want to have a go at this and I'll find it?
Yeah, okay then. Yeah, go on. Yeah. Go on, how much of it?
So all we're going to do, we've just got this little bit here.
Thank you.
Yeah? So if you just want to just do that, and then I'll go and find the card.
Oh, I will.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Here it is, Matt. It was the third card in the pile.
It was the third, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, go on then.
There we go. See, I trusted you to carry on with my masterpiece. To carry on with my masterpiece.
I'll hide it there. I hope I haven't ruined anything.
You would. You can't.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Yeah. So shall I hold this up while you're doing that?
Yeah.
Paul? Yeah. Okay, here it is. Here's that.
So those lovely little stars. So it's using one of our other plates that will be available on the website, which is the big star shape, and then using the congratulations from the scallop squares, and then have those little stars dangling. So that's not even. I mean, if you took away A Star Is Born at the top, I mean that could be for a film premiere.
Could be absolutely anything. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that's sort of great because it's not really baby themed at all.
No, of course, and that could be congratulations on an engagement, congratulations 21st birthday, congratulations on any number of things. Passing a big test, passing a test to find a card buried amongst other cards.
Okay.
Which you ended up finding.
Which
really you ended.
I knew what it looked like, so it was easier for me to
There is that, mind you. I lose things all the time.
Right. So what I'm going to do now, I've now moved up into the top corner because I now want this lovely star. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this slightly. See, that's one of the great things about Groovy is that you can adapt as you go along. So I've got my little star in place there. Okay, but I need a little straight line so that it sort of dangles and it's not floating. So I've got loads of straight lines on here. So all I'm going to do is position that in there. Don't go through the ribbon. Sort of, see again, it's that illusion that it's behind.
The depth, yeah.
Yeah. So I can turn that over. So now we've got our ribbons in place and we've got the star. But we can personalise this now. So what we're going to do is we'll bring in our scallop squares.
And inside here you've got the alphabet, uppercase, lowercase, numbers and ordinals.
Now when you're working with parchment, you're working on the reverse, so you have to spell backwards. Okay, so sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So what you could do is write it on a piece of scrap parchment, turn it over, and then you'll be able to read it backwards. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go, see this is not planned at all, so we've got M, and then we can have a little A, okay. And then we can go, where's the T gone? RST.
Oh, baby Matt.
See, and so you can personalise it. 2 T's, Matt?
Yeah, it would be, yeah. I mean, obviously, we're 43 years too late. But
well, it's not a baby card, though, is it?
It's not, is it?
It's
no,
not.
It could be
it's
a congratulations on passing
your
presenting test.
So we could put, like, 21. See?
21, are you
21.
sure? 21. Again?
I could have this the wrong way around. You could be 12 in a minute.
Yeah, that'd be right. 212.
See? So there we go. So we've got Matt, 21. See, again, so it's all about the personalisation.
Fake news. So not 21, he's 43.
So for me, it still looks a little bit disjointed. So what I want to do is put another frame in place.
Isn't it sad when your son is closer in age to 21 than you are?
Oh,
awful.
Dear.
Oh.
So this is the Pico square plate that comes with the die. And what I'm going to do is line that up within those little zigzags. Okay. And then we're going to tape that down to stop it moving around. And then what I'm going to do now, I'm now going to put another set of frame in, but making sure that I don't go through the images that are already in place.
And so this is one of the only times you have to keep with the program, stay in the room with it, you know.
Yeah.
Don't let the mindfulness take you away. Just concentrate on stopping and starting.
And
but then it's so effective the way you get that frame.
It does, the frame within a frame.
Yeah.
So we're going to move those tabs just around there. I'm going to put
Notice how reusable these Groovy tabs are. You just keep using them over and over, don't you?
I mean, my poor dog, you can tell when I've been crafting, he's got them all over him by the time I finished, and the cat.
Do they get on?
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
2 dogs and a cat.
Oh.
So, there we go. So we're going to go through there. And then we'll turn it round. And now I'll concentrate a little bit on this bit because there's a lot of ribbon work on here, so that I don't go through. So we're going to go either side of that.
It's lovely, as your plate collection grows, what you can be capable of doing. That said, you can groovy parchment straight away with your starter kit. You can get so much out of your one-day special, but as your plate collection grows, you just get so creative.
It's very addictive. I mean, when we launched it 3.5 years ago, we had a small selection, and I'd say there's probably 400 or 500 different designs now. I mean, when you imagine, like today, we've brought in the one-day special, you've got 6 plates there. Then you've got the new scalloped squares, so that's 7 new plates just on today's show.
It's easy how it can grow. Yeah,
it definitely grows.
So many viewers watching as well who probably say, yeah, I know how it can grow. That's why we've got the storage solutions there as well. So if you are a keen groovy parcher, you've got everything you need, starting with the starter kit right the way through to your storage and your diet.
So what I thought now, I'd put some colour in. Okay, so again, I'm working on the back. So we've got a set of pencils, Pergamano pencils.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I'll bring these in so we can have a look at these. So these are Pergolina pencils. You've got 36 pencils in there. 20 of them are watercolour pencils and 16 are basic, so they're like a wax-based pencil. Parchment doesn't like moisture, so you have to be careful when you're doing your colouring in. So in here, you've got a really nice selection of colours. The ones that have got the black writing on, that have an A in front of the number, they're the aqua pencils. And the white writing on them, the B, are the blendable pencils. So I've already taken some out, which are the colours I'm going to use, and I'm going to use the water-based pencils, the aqua ones. Okay. So I'll just pop those there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some pink, and I'm actually going to, it's easier if you actually tape it, especially for a small piece, to tape it down while you're colouring. And again, the groovy guard comes into play as well. And then all I'm going to do is put the colour on the back. Okay.
Notice how beautifully colourful these pencils are, even on the colourful parchment as well. Notice that colour.
Yeah, I mean, I can take the colour out as well. That's one of the great things about the coloured parchment. So I'm going to move over to these 2 stars here. What I'll actually do is I'll take the colour out of one of these stars and colour it in so that we can see the difference in the colours. So I've just got an eraser, and all I'm going to do is just remove that colour.
It's a good technique, to take it away.
Okay, get rid of the dust, so we can visibly see there where you've got the lovely light ivory and where I've made it clear. So if I take the pink,
nice to be able to do that and not put colour in sometimes. So
that's right, yeah. So you've got the clearness of it. You can do shading, especially if you've got a beautiful rose. There's some lovely roses on the plates. Okay, so we've done that, and then what I'm going to do is then colour the main star in with the yellow pencil. So don't need to be careful about going over all the words.
Because it's flat, you're on the flat hard.
I'm working on the back, and it's not going to affect the colour when I turn it over. So we'll just put some colour down here.
Very good quality pencils. You've got 16 of the basic, 20 of the water, and you're using the aquarelles.
I'm using the aquarelles, yeah. And you'll see why in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to put the colour down. So let me just move that so I can colour the rest of the star.
Add your pencils onto your flexi order for $21 to spread the cost. Easy to do that, and it's $41.99 if you're not on a flexi order at the moment. 418768.
Okay, so the star's almost done. Okay, and then what I've got a Wink of Stella. It's like a pen that's got glitter in it in liquid form. And then all I'm going to do, the glitter's not going to show through on the front, but what it does is it allows the colour to soften down. Okay, so it seems to like this over water. Okay. So I find...
So a water-based carrier that the Hochanda pen is in.
So I watched Maria do this, one of our other Clarity team members, and I thought, oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then if I take a scrap of paper,
you could draw the pen through.
I could now just clear that pink off, and now I can just go in and colour it. And what this is doing, it's sort of softening out the colour and taking away sort of like the scratchy pencil lines.
Okay. Just blending it, smoothing it out, water solubility is kicking in.
Okay. So then, obviously, that'll take a little bit of a while to dry. So when I turn it over, I'm not going to put it on flat, and then I'm just going to clean the brush. So now I'll remove all my stickers. Okay. So that when I turn that over, if I bring this back into play now, we can see now how those colours will start to intensify.
The colour's very, very bright.
Okay. And then, even though I've got these lovely thin lines, I can still take my pencil and I can apply colour within those lines as well. So if I put some pink in between the two tram lines, and again, just follow that through.
And you can be very direct with your Pergamano pencils as well, your Pergaliners.
Yeah.
Get in there.
And again, I'm not worried. As long as I stay within those lines, I can go on to them, but it's when I turn it over, it's not going to sort of transfer onto the other side.
Yeah, because we're on the back, you've got those lines as an overhang. Yeah. And the sharpness of the white of those lines is whether you're doing it very neatly anyway, but once you've turned it over, it'll be sharp.
Yeah, I mean, also what helps is because these are now debossed within the parchment, the pencil is actually sitting inside the lines, so the lines are sort of acting as like a guide as well.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't go on too hard, then you probably won't jump out of the line.
Very nice. Very nice colouring on that. And there it is, the sharp white lines each side of that colour. It does add something. That frame,
it does. It just finishes it off. Yeah. So if I do a little bit of colouring, did you want to have a look at some more of the samples?
Yeah, no, I'd love to.
The design team.
I'd love to.
We could look at that star one if you wanted to, Matt.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, now that I found it. Yeah, thank you for that, Paul. Yeah. So you've got, we're here all week. No, we're not. You're here just till tomorrow, 6
Until
PM,
stock lasts.
UK time. Until stock lasts, exactly. Have a look at this video with more of the finished examples from the design team. Yes, we've got even more finished examples here with Paul, who's been doing our demonstrating for us today. Thank you so much for enjoying our show so far. This is it, the one-day special. It's here while stocks last. It's already over half the stock gone when we last checked. And we only launched it a few hours ago this evening as well. So it is a brand new one-day special. The question is, have you or do you know somebody with a new arrival on the way this year or next, you know, planning ahead potentially? And is that new arrival then going to have a first birthday, a second birthday, a third birthday? Well, yeah, you know, with all of those events that are still to come, you've got all the potential to make to sell with your new arrivals set from the designer Linda Williams. And we've got an opportunity now to look at one of my favourite cards.
Yeah,
actually,
you really
Paul.
like this one, don't you? It's absolutely stunning. I'm not surprised.
I think I love the simplicity of the colour, and it's just a lesson in parchment and where you can take it one day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Linda, as I said earlier, is a master tutor, so she's been doing it for years and years, and you can see why she got to that status. But what I love about the Groovy system is that the Groovy system replaces one element of parchment craft, and that is to give you the perfectly crisp white line art, the design. And then as you get more confident, then you want to learn more, so it encourages it, because you think, oh, I can do this, I want to learn how to do this now, I want to learn how to do that. It's the same with stamping. If you don't ink up a stamp correctly and you stamp it out, you automatically think, oh, I've got a funny stamp. But it's just that learning curve.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really, really is.
Wonderful, wonderful card, that. I'm glad I could share it with you again. And here, one of the elements from just one of the groovy plates tonight is that rocking horse. It's an image
right. Again, so I mean, we was talking earlier about when we showed the little 3D one. This is just perfect.
Love that.
As like a Christmas hanger on a Christmas tree, or you could do a child's mobile.
You could.
I mean, you don't have to make it three-dimensional, and it's a fairly simple shape. This has been pico cut with the fancy edge, but it's a fairly simple shape that you could just cut out with a pair of scissors, and it'd make a beautiful mobile.
Just a two-dimensional, just one piece. You don't need to do that extra 3D, because there's two there potentially, aren't there already? And to have a hanging ornament or a mobile is a lovely idea. Look at all this framework around the edge too. This is where you're taking your groovy journey. This next card is a phenomenal example of the white work as well on the cushion.
That's right. Yeah. So the white work is where you freestyle, so to speak, and you stretch the parchment on a soft mat. And what that does, it gives you that effect of light and darkness, so it gives it the real luxurious look.
And that's one of the images there with congratulations, this baby font as well, with baby twin girls, but you've got your twin pram, and that is just one of the imagery in some of the words from your amazing one day special. I love the idea of using certain images for a wedding invitation as well.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
So Linda's done this, so she's just taken the beautiful parchment and the powder blue that's also on the show, done a wrap around an envelope, but just used a little house. I mean, it could be a new home as well. And just used a lovely font from that plate to do the wedding invitation.
And then for the new arrivals, another one to show is this lovely, lovely cradle and just a monogram. You're just
That's right. When we did the launch show, this is the one that I demonstrated. Linda Williams kindly stepped this up for me, and I attempted to recreate it. So this is the finished sample. But again, it's the pram without the wheels.
So you can watch that on Rewind, which is our catch-up service. 3 hours ago, 6 p.m. UK time. It's just coming up to 9 p.m. now. Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you everyone for watching.
Yeah, no, absolutely well said. It's been a real tutorial on parchment crafting from the ground up as well. So if you're new to all this, if you'd like to get started, grab the starter kit. It's a one-way ticket. You're going to adore it. And this is your one-day special here today with your lovely groovy plates for the new arrivals collection. It does come with 20 sheets of parchment paper. That's normally $27.99. You're getting that for $26 off. You're basically not paying for the parchment paper here in a way, but it's only available while stocks last. Over half the stock's already gone. Really sincerely hope you can order it soon. And Paul, we'll see you tomorrow for more shows as well.
Goodbye.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.